So what are the key points that we went through in our pre-op PT? So one, we want to restore range of motion. The extension range of motion is a little bit more important than flexion range of motion. Okay, we'll talk about how we did this in a minute. We want to reduce swelling. Oftentimes, this ends up being activity modification. So we want to do enough activity, so we're kind of pumping that swelling out of the area. We also want to make sure we're not doing too much standing and walking, so the area gets extra swollen. Okay, so it's kind of this dosing approach to get swelling down. We want to add compression, elevation, ice at day's end, right? This is a little bit mixed in terms of the data out there. So go ahead and go down that rabbit hole if you like to, but this is something that we use generally. And I also just like using compression garments throughout the course of the day. Okay, I think that could be helpful for swelling. The next thing we want to do is restore quad strength. And this is going to be neuromuscular control. All right, so actually getting that muscle to fire well, as well as true strength. Okay, and the two are actually related. We also want to try to reduce atrophy, so you can measure that quad prior to having the surgery to see where it's at. And you can actually measure it throughout the rehabilitation process to see how you're doing. We're also trying to work on neuromuscular control, as we talked about earlier. For me, neuromuscular control is a fancy way of saying balance, right? We work on a lot of balance drills that are progressively harder over the course of time. We're working on proprioception. So again, same balance. And then strength and motor control, which a lot of these are related, but you'll kind of see how we did over the course of time. Okay. The other thing is we want to try to maintain our fitness and strength elsewhere as much as possible. Okay. It's very hard to build up strength and conditioning. It's much, much easier to maintain this. Okay. So as much as possible while protecting the injured area, we're going to try to maintain our strength and maintain our fitness. Okay. So what this does mean is we can strength train the crap out of the contralateral limb. Single-legged squats, single-legged deadlifts, all that good stuff, okay? We can also train the rest of the kinetic chain. So the core, the upper body, right? We can train the calves. We can train everything, right? We can train everything within the system that's not putting too much stress on the injury site, okay? In terms of physical therapy frequency, pre-op, I saw this patient 1 time per week. I felt that was largely adequate. I don't feel like she would have gotten a whole heck of a lot more out of additional visits. Unless she was very restricted with range of motion, which she wasn't. Plus, she was very, very good at her range of motion at home. So I didn't recommend more because I think she was doing just fine. Okay. However, I do give a very in-depth home exercise program. She's doing something daily, every single day, on top of a strength program that's usually 3 to 5 days per week. So here's what I want you to do next, guys. If you enjoyed this video so far, I have an entire course. It's free. It's called the Fitness Pain-Free Mini Course. And we go over 3 lessons going to help you take a lot of this information that we went over so far and put it into practice. The first lecture is called Why We Need a Better System. So first and foremost, the way we treat fitness individuals, all right, athletic people in the gym from a physical therapy perspective is pretty much broke, okay? So we need a better system to serve the folks that are in the gym that get hurt. They want to get back to training, all right? Lecture number 2 is called 7 Reasons Why People Get Hurt in the Gym. And essentially, we have to know the reasons why people get hurt in the gym so we can keep them safe in the future, right? And when they get hurt, we have to know why and how to get them back to training in the gym. Okay, so a thorough understanding of this is very, very important. I actually have a really cool infographic that goes along with this lecture that you get for free as well. And lastly, we go over a case study of how to get someone out of pain and back to training. So these principles are all phenomenal, but we don't actually put it together and you don't understand how to create a program to get people back in the gym and keep them safe for the long term, then we lose, right? So I'll put a link in the show notes for this. It's a Fitness Pain-Free Mini Course. Definitely check this out.